Hey you! Me? Yeah, you! Playing on 60 FPS. Well, actually, my monitor only supports 60 Hz, so that's why I play on. Do you want to get better FPS? Hey, I wasn't finished! Okay, little Timmy, I'll let you finish. So basically what I wanted to say is, if you answer yes to any of the questions, I got the solution. Hey, I wanted to all you need is a PC, a NVIDIA GPU, and a whole lot of money in your bank account. So make sure you watch this video to the end, and yeah. So these are the set. Wait, look at yourself. Why haven't you subscribed? Only a small percentage of you are actually subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you can like the video as well. It will mean the world to me. Thank you. Well, why aren't you doing it? I'm waiting. So let's start off with the display settings. Now, before you skip, I know this might be like generic news, but trust me, the display settings actually improve your FPS probably the most. First of all, window mode, always full screen. Not Windows full screen, not Windows. Because Windows full screen will get you a delay. I think Windows will get you a delay as well. So yeah, full screen. Now, resolution. The thing with this is my display is 1920 by 1080, but I play on 16 by 900 because it will get me better FPS, and I don't see that huge of a difference. Playing on 1920 and 1080 versus playing on 1600 by 900, I don't see any difference in that. Like, I play on 1600 and times 900. I would recommend you to do this. Take your resolution and take it, like, put it one step down, like one times down. If your FPS is still like bad, put it on the lowest setting, or you can play on stretched as well. So you can bring your you can pick your own resolution. I play on 1600 times 900, and many pros play on this resolution as well. Frame rate limit. Now, if your display is 60 Hz, you either want to play on 60 FPS or 120 FPS. Personally, I have a 144 Hz monitor, so I don't know how is it to play on 60 FPS. I think you should cap it at 120 because your game will feel smoother, but I'm not sure. So switch between these and see what works the best for you. Now, if you have a 144 Hz monitor, I personally play on 160 FPS because in my case, I have found out that playing on 160 for me is smoother. Like sometimes when I played on 144, sometimes my game didn't feel as smooth and it had like micro stutters. So I put it on 160 and it fixed all those. So yeah, I play on 160. If you feel like 160 doesn't work and it's like not smooth, put on 144 and see how that feels. Now, 240 Hz, you just cap it at 240. I think there's no point of capping it on 360, 260. So yeah, cap it on 240 if you play on 240 Hz. Now, brightness, I keep it at 100. User interface contrast, don't touch that. It just makes your menu look different. Colorblind mode, I will still turn up 3 because I see better in zone. Now, graphics settings. What I use is 3D resolution 100, view distance medium, and all of these off. These are the best ones on pretty much every PC. If your FPS is still bad, move this slider and see like how it feels. This pretty much takes down the pixels, and yeah. Now let's move on to the thing you've been all waiting for, advanced graphics. Let's first of all look at these first 6 settings. VSync turn off. Like here, VSync doesn't really work. I think it has a little bit delay. So yeah, you can just cap your FPS in here as well. So don't use VSync. Motion blur, don't use it. Just don't. If you're not doing a montage, then don't use it. Show FPS, I personally have it on. You can turn it off if you want, but it just shows your FPS. Now, DirectX version. This is another thing that many people have said, like use this or use that. I personally use DirectX 12 because with this new update that brought in these new settings, DirectX 12 actually gives you more FPS. Like for some people it gives more FPS, and for me, I use it because I have more consistent frames with this. With DirectX 11 I didn't have that many consistent frames, so I use DirectX 12 because my frames are more consistent. Allow multi-threaded rendering. If you have over, I believe, 3 or 4 cores, put this on. I personally have 6 cores, a 6-core CPU, so I have this on. I think if you have lower than 3 or 4 cores, you should turn it off, because if you have it on, you will get less FPS actually. So yeah, put it on if you have more than 3 or 4 cores. If you have less than 3 or 4 cores, turn it off. Use GPU crash debugging. I have it on because I sometimes encountered crashes, so I put this on and it kind of fixed it. So if you don't have crashes, you don't have to have it on, but I personally have it on. Okay, now let's move on to the new settings. First of all, latency markers. You don't need this on, okay? You don't need this on. I have it off. You don't need this. Now, NVIDIA Reflex low latency. This is probably one of the biggest settings out here. Definitely put this on plus boost. Like this gives you low latency. I personally have actually felt latency being lower, and I'm not like bullshitting you. I'm not like being like, oh my god, this changes everything. Like I've actually felt like I've played on low latency. I don't know, maybe it's just my mind thinking that I put the setting on and now it should be low latency, so I kind of like, I don't know, I feel it gives you low latency. So yeah, put this on. Even if you don't feel it gives you low latency, just put this on, because it doesn't do anything to you. It doesn't harm your FPS. It doesn't do anything. Latency flash, you don't want this on. You don't want this on. Just put it off. Now for the final one, TLSS. I use it on performance, and it actually gives you more FPS. You can put this on quality or balanced. I use it on performance, and what this does is basically, if you put it on performance, it takes your 3D resolution to 50% and yeah, that's pretty much, and it gives you more FPS, and it also, yeah, it gives you more FPS, and I don't really see like the one thing, oh, it turns your 3D resolution down to 50. It will have much worse quality, but it doesn't have, like, for me, it doesn't. I don't see like it having worse quality. I feel like it's exactly the same quality. I mean, if you can also put it on quality, like, I don't know, I feel like performance is better because it will give you more FPS. Now, ray tracing. The only thing I'm gonna say here is turn it off. Just don't even touch it, just have it off. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. That's all I'm gonna say. Please do it. Why aren't you doing it?
Playing for the shit, rather be dead, don't play. So my wrist, fucking with my head, get dead. This is just fuss. You can see it on me, miss, lost in the mist. Pants full of piss, definitely so pretty. Yeah, this fuss out of Philly, silly Willie. Took a look at the road and he jumped. All he needed was a break.